I was born in Romania, and the town was called Sapința. We were 7 children, 4 girls and 3 boys, and we were happy children. We weren't rich, we were poor, but we were happy and satisfied. My grandfather had a house, and the house had three apartments, and he had only 3 children. So we had a room and a kitchen, and his other son had a room and a kitchen, and then the daughter had a room and a kitchen. And we had 7 children in the one room and kitchen. My father's brother had about, I think, 5 or 6, and my aunt didn't have any children. We had 1 room in a kitchen, small little kitchen, and we were 7 children. So us 4 girls, we used to go every night, we used to go to my grandmother to sleep there. And my parents only slept with the 3 boys. We used to get a dress once a year for Pesach, and that's all we wore all year. And in the summertime we used to play a lot outside. In the wintertime we stayed in the house, we couldn't budge. And we were happy children, because we didn't want too much, and we used to help a lot my mother, and used to make her own cheese. Yeah, my mother used to do all that. When I was little, I used to make my own dolls. I didn't get a doll. I used to make my own dolls. I used to take some material, and I used to cut out a form from material like a person, and then I used to sew it up, and then I used to go to the mill and fill it up with sawdust. And that was my doll.
Wow.
And if I wanted hair on her, I used to take the hair from the corn and put it on the doll. Yeah, we played ball. We were running around the summer and the winter. We just stayed in the house, doing nothing. We went to public school, and then we went. There was like a cheder, you know. And my mother sent us that we should learn how to daven, and then that's it. Not a teacher, a rabbi, that taught us how to daven. What do you think he taught us? First he taught us the Jewish Aleph Beis, then the Comments Aleph, Comments Beis Bu, and then we kept on going until we knew how to daven. We davened very slow, I'll never forget it. And we learned ourselves how to daven. We went to school with Romanian kids, and there was no things that they should hate us because we were Jews. No, absolutely not. We stayed in school together with the Goyim, and that's it. I only went till 5th grade. That's it. And then we stopped and didn't go anymore. 1942, me and Hansa, we left home.
Right.
Why? Because there was no food, there was nothing to eat. So we decided, me and Hansa, to leave home, go to a bigger city, and find jobs. I was maybe, 14, 15. I went to look for a job. So we First we went to Sakmer. We left Sakmer and we went to Budapest, Hans and me. And in Budapest, she found a job, very good job, and I also found a job, and they were very nice to me. And we worked. I was like a helper, yeah. And I did everything. Oh my God, I did everything. My parents in Sapinka, there was nothing to eat. So Hansa was a maid by these rich people. And she used to get up in the middle of the night and she used to make dough for bread. And she used to make the bread and she used to run to the bakery, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and bake it and then send it home. Used to send home that bread packages and the whole town was envying my parents. And then one day we got a letter from my mother and she said to us, don't send us nothing. We have everything. This is when they took them away to the ghetto. 44, the Germans started to get the Jews and make ghettos. So the people who we knew in Budapest, the Kahans, their name was Kahan Frankel, and they were very rich, and he was the president from the Jewish community and everything. So they looked for places that we could hide. They knew a policeman, and he was not a Jewish policeman, a regular policeman. They knew this policeman, and this policeman knew a guy, a woman, and I guess he went to her and he told her that if she would take in a girl like me, and she took, and I was her maid. I was a maid. I went to the police, made myself legal papers. Imagine, I went to the police and this policeman came with me and I told them that I ran away from Romania from the Russians and I'm here alone and I'm looking for work and this and that, and they got me papers. Regular, legal papers, me and Hansa, we both. And then, with my papers, I came to this Goethe, and she was very nice to me. I worked hard, I did everything in the house, but she loved me. My name was Anush, and I stayed by that Goethe till the liberation, till the war ended. And then I left from her and I went back to the Kahan Frankels, to the Jews who helped us, because they were also hiding. They were hiding also by this guy, imagine, but she got a lot of money. They paid her. And she took a Jewish apartment in Budapest, a tremendous house, and the Kahans, they were a couple and 2 sons. She put them all the way in the back, and there was a closet. So what did they do? Somehow they just made that closet bigger, and whoever came to the house, for instance, we rang the bell 3 times. If anybody came to the house and they rang the bell once, they ran in the closet. I was free. I was a maid, a goyish maid. And one time, she had a daughter, a big daughter, and a son. And she was German, would you believe it, the Goethe? One day a German soldier came to the house and he asked her that he wants to take me out on a date. So the Goethe says, look, this child ran away from the Russians, from Romania. I'm responsible for her. I do not let her go out with nobody. And she didn't let me go out with him. And I stayed by her till 1945. I was in the supermarket shopping for the guy, and there was two women there. One was in front of me, one was behind me, and the one in front of me, she said to the other woman in Hungarian, "This is a Jew. I am telling you, this is a Jewish girl." She went out. She called a policeman, and they called me outside, and the policeman says to me, "Are you Jewish?" And they were so trained to catch the Jews that he said a Hebrew word to me. So he thought, I'm going to think he's Jewish, and I'm going to tell him I'm also. I said to him, "What are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying." I knew what he was saying, but I was very courageous.
What did he say?
And I said, "I don't know what you're saying." He says, "Okay," he says to me, because he asked me for my papers, and I didn't take my papers with me when I went shopping. I'm afraid somebody is going to steal them from me. I said, he says to me, "Give me your papers." I said, "I will not take my papers with me when I go shopping." In Hungarian, I said, "You want my papers? I live right here. Come upstairs, I show you my papers." He says to me, and he wanted to trick me, and he wanted, he says to me, "Amchu." You know what Amcha is? Amcha is like, Jew, are you Jewish in Hebrew? I said, "What are you talking about?" Ahuva, I don't know how I was so courageous. I said, "What are you talking? I don't understand what you're saying." He says to me, "Don't ever go out without papers." And he let me go.
Yeah.
And those two women were plotting. I did everything. I washed laundry. I used to go down on my knees in the bathtub and scrub the laundry. I did all the laundry. I polished the wooden floors. I did everything.
For no pay.
Pay? And I stayed by her till 1945. In 1945, the Russians came into Budapest, chased out the Germans, and there was no more ghetto. Whatever was left of Jews, they all came out. So I left, and I went back to those people, to the Kahans, and they went back to their house. They had a big house. I didn't know if I have parents. I didn't know anything.
Oh.
I didn't know about my siblings, me and Hensa. We went home to Sepenka to wait for our parents to come home. We didn't know anything. And we stayed home, not only us, a lot of children who they didn't have parents no more. So we stayed home in town in 1946, I think we were there, in 46. And we were sitting there. Then my cousins who were in the camps, they came home and they told us, "Don't wait, you're not getting nobody back. You're not getting parents, you're not getting nobody." Can you imagine? So everybody, we cried and we carried on. And We ran to the cemetery and cried to our grandparents, and then we just left. Couldn't stay there no more. What am I gonna do there? One day we were in Budapest, me and Hansa. One day a guy came to the Kahans, Polish guy, Jew. He came and he said to us, I don't know how, looks like Berta remembered the address from the Kahans in Budapest. Imagine this. She sent him, and after the war, this guy was also in the camps. He took her with him to Poland, because he had in Poland an aunt, and he took her with him so she could stay by his aunt. We didn't know. We thought she was killed. He came with a note to tell us that Berta's alive. Can you imagine? Oh my God, I'll never forget that time. We were screaming and crying, Hans and me. You have no idea. And then she came to Budapest. Can you imagine?
How did you meet Zadie?
I met him in a camp, because after they took all the Jews who were in the camps, and they opened camps for them in Germany.
Oh, so you met Zadie in Germany?
Yeah.
That was a displaced persons camp.
Yeah, yeah. And this is where we met him. I met him, and he had a cousin, and she was the shopman and all that. And that's how I met Zadie.
And you got married in the
I got married
DP
in Germany. Yeah. We registered to come to America, and they accept us. And they send us papers that we can come.
How did you travel? By boat?
By boat.
Plane?
Boat.
Oh.
I traveled by plane because I was already pregnant with Debbie.
Oh, and with the
Because I got married in Germany. And I got pregnant with Debbie. I was in I don't know what I was, 8 months or...
How old were you?
I must have been maybe 20, 21.
How old was Zadie?
Zadie was about 10 years older.
That's when you got married? What year did you get married?
In 1948.
What was the wedding like?
Nothing, just a chuppah.
What did you wear for a dress?
Whatever. Whatever whatever I had, we wore. I don't even remember. That was the wedding. Yeah. There was a lot of organization, and they helped the people who were in the camps. Yeah, and they helped us, and we registered, because we had relatives in America. My mother's mother had a brother, and I don't know how, somehow, they found out everything, where he is, whatever, made some papers to come to America, and that's how they came. This is where we moved to Binghamton. I had relatives in Binghamton, and we went straight to Binghamton, and the relatives, they were very nice, they helped us in every way, and we got an apartment. Me and Zadie got an apartment. Zadie got a job because Zadie was a furrier.
How did you adjust to America? Was it hard?
It was hard because I didn't know how to speak English, English.
Right.
And I lived in this little house, and there was goyim all around.
Was there any other Jews that moved into Binghamton?
Yeah, there were more Jews there.
What about Hensa?
And one day, I remember, never forget that, I was pregnant. Was I pregnant with Sheila or with Ralph? I don't remember. And I went to a meeting once, and the woman American woman. We're getting up, and one woman says like this. I wasn't there, but another woman came and told it to me. She says, well, we have a problem here. The newcomers are coming, and they're having babies. So there was one woman there, a young girl who was very nice. She got up and she said to her, how dare you? Didn't they lost enough? They lost their parents. They lost their siblings. And you are here to tell them not to have any babies? She told it to me. And in Binghamton I had Debbie, then I got right away pregnant with Sheila, then I got pregnant with Ralph, and they were plots.